Hey guys, welcome back. Before we get started, we would like to send our deepest condolences to the family that lost their life, the firefighter up in Pennsylvania during the Trump rally. It was a horrific event, and that's the first thing that I should have gotten out earlier, and I didn't get a chance to. So our deepest condolences go out to the family members of the firefighter that was lost. So with all that being said, let's get into it. As my recent videos have suggested, that if the park did decide to remove and relocate waterworks, it could easily be moved to Hurricane Harbor, OKC. Well, it looks like the park got the part for whatever pump or part they needed to get it all back up and running again, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the park isn't going to receive something for the 2025 season. But I still think that there could be an S&S ride package for next year, next season that is. But I do think that there is an S&S drop tower, shot tower ride that could be placed on the old eruption pad, as you can see here. There is some fencing being placed around the pad itself, almost like the same type of fencing that was around the old eruption itself. I think the height of the tower could reach 250 feet without having to go to city council to get the height limit removed. But the park could go with either the 213 foot or one of the shorter towers. I don't think the park would want to go with the smallest tower, which is around 80 foot. That would make no sense to none of us guessed. I can't tell if the queue line has been worked on or not, but the park did mention that it would not be removed. Another major flat ride that could be installed is an S&S Screaming Swing. The park can go with the 8-seated swing, what I would look at. From the videos I've seen, they are intense rides, although I personally have never been on one, and they look fun and intensive rides. Uh, they could theme it to like a barn type of theme, similar to something what Silver Dollar City did with theirs, and it could be another fan favorite, so that the park can keep the attendance up without losing the guest to the new Okana, which, by the way, is starting to take off like a rocket and will draw the attendance away from both Frontier City and Hurricane Harbor beginning next year, next spring in 2025, and that's really not a good thing to look at. So they need to start concentrating heavily uh, on the park so that they don't lose those guests. I'm still thinking that there is an S&S 40 free spin coaster in play with this. Now, as to where the park would place it, if you look closely at where the tumbleweed's at, there is room to place either type of 40 free spin on that section of land. There is a canopy that's sitting there with very little theming, and it doesn't look like it'd interfere with the tracks or the train itself. It could easily be themed to a rodeo or a western type of outlaw. But if it can't be placed there, it could be placed where the old sandbox is at, where the amphitheater is located. Not the seating area, but closer to the Winged Warrior is, because the park isn't using that area other than for Fright Fest events and so on, and churches and high school events. Last season during Fright Fest, I believe it was last season, Fright Fest, uh, the park showed a video of a few rides that the park does not have. Now, no one recorded the video that I know of. Uh, the the park rarely uses other parks' rides other than Six Flags itself. So take that with a grain of salt. I'm thinking there is a ride package. One of them showed the 40 free spin coaster down at Six Flags Over Texas, and a drop tower ride. I did not catch what type it was. It may have been the one at Darien Lake. I'm not for sure, but just take that part as a grain of salt. Keep in mind, these are just my thoughts of what the park seems to be looking at, and I'm looking at a broader view of it. So keep that thought and process in mind. Anyway, I'm gonna end it right here. Thanks for your continued support for the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button and comment below, and I'll see y'all in our next video. Take care, guys.